So I basically wasted a lot of time in Reno. I didn't really do anything that interesting. I mean, honestly, like, what is there to do in Reno besides gamble? If anyone knows, let me know, and the next time I'm coming through there, I'll do it. So there wasn't really a lot for me to do. I'm not a gambler. I'm not really into like huge nightlife type stuff. So I was basically just there as a waiting point to get the things I needed to fix up my van, which I showed in my last Reno video. Once that was done, it was time to go. Now, even though I'm still really not that into like the sort of casino scene, I was kind of curious about Las Vegas. I mean, I'd never been to Las Vegas. Never been through Las Vegas. I'd never been near Las Vegas. So I did go a little bit southish just so I could say I crossed through Las Vegas for really no good reason. But the truth is, that's kind of part of this trip. Like, I've never done a trip like this. I've never gone on a long road trip by myself, with anyone else. I don't really count the times I've been up and down the coast a few times as like a really invested long-term road trip. Like, that hasn't been my life. My van life has been like working, and so like I've mostly been in California, not just California, the Bay Area, California. I had a short-term job in LA that took me down the coast a bit until LA. I did RTR once, which was back in 2019. But really, I haven't done long-term away from my home base travel. Even when I was in Oregon, I wasn't really that far away. And when I traveled to Oregon, I tried to do this whole thing where I diverted myself so I would run into fun stuff, and I didn't really end up running into a lot of fun stuff. And so that's been sort of what's been nerve-wracking about embarking on this, is like, I don't even know how to run into fun stuff. Like, how does this happen? Like, you're randomly driving down the road and something catches your eye? Well, we'll see if it happens to me on this trip. It is hot. I'm like an hour outside of Las Vegas, and guess what? It's time to go to tank tops and shorts. Like, I was like, I'm not putting on pants today. I'm not putting on sleeves today if I can help it. And the funny thing is, I actually slept at a rest stop across the street, and then when I got up this morning, I'm like, Area 51 store? I'm really not that up on aliens, which is funny because I used to be like obsessed with the X-Files. And so whether I believed it or not, I'm not going to get into my beliefs about aliens. Like, I was really into like alien lore. So it's funny, like the X-Files has slipped away with time. It's just not as much of a thing. But it's kind of funny. I forgot about the whole Area 51 thing until I looked up and I was like, oh, Area 51 store, I have to go. control my spending. I really wanted a t-shirt, but I instead settled for 2 stickers. I love humans. And this Nevada Area 51 sticker, because I wanted sort of, if I can find a sticker for the state I'm in, I like to get it and then make that sort of a part of my cargo carrier. I've decided that's where I'm going to mainly put most of the stickers I get now. So I really wanted a t-shirt though. And I'm like, no, Dawn, you need to be careful with money. Like, I know people have the impression that I've now become like rich via YouTube, but I'm not. Like YouTube is keeping gas in the car, and keeping me on the road. But that's about it. It's gonna get me back to the East Coast and hopefully back to California at the end. But it's not really, you know, I'm not rolling in the dough just to be able to like buy stuff like that, especially if I want to have money in case of an emergency. So I got my stickers. I love stickers though. They don't take up that much room. They make the things feel more personalized and less generic. So it's always fun to find stickers. So in the end, I did give Las Vegas a little drive-through. I mean, I just wanted to say I went. But as soon as I got there, I was reminded how much I hate like crowded city traffic and really, really, really busy, big cities. I have no problem with like city and town in general, especially if it's a little bit slower pace. But this was a little much for me and sort of much for the kind of person I am. I mean, it was pretty. It was like driving through neighborhoods and seeing all the Christmas lights, seeing all the buildings that were lit up. But I pretty quickly wanted to get out of there and get back on the open road. So I think what I learned on this leg of the journey is just not to force it, just kind of how to roll with it. If there's something interesting catches my eye, then I'll stop and I'll check it out. And sometimes that'll be something I glance at after I glance up at a truck stop. And sometimes I'll go to places where it's supposed to be really interesting and it's just not for me. See you in the next video.